hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host iamBranded.
Had a chance to say what's happening to a lot of the people out there that's listening, checking for new music. There's a lot of music fans, right? There's a lot of people worldwide that not only listens, not just in the United States, but globally. Shout out to Canada, shout out to Australia, shout out to Japan, all the people out there that's fishing for new music. So my girl Jess, I want to shout her out, gave me an opportunity to holler at Gina Gunz, and I'm like, okay, let me check her music out. So I'm like listening and listening and listening some more, and I'm like, you know what? I became a fan, and this is why I feel like it's radio in me will never die, because when people got passion about music and people got an opportunity to be able to put their God-given talent right here for us to be able to listen to, I'm like, I'm in. I mean, y'all heard this one, which is available now on iTunes. You can go check it out. And I was listening to the Ballad Scars as well, and I'm like blown away. So I had to ask if we could be able to have Gina Gunz live on Nexxlegacy Radio, and God damn it, we got her. You know what I mean? So Gina Gunz, you go check her out. Hashtag Gina Gang. You could check her out. Follow her on Instagram, instagram.com/Gina Gunz. You can also check her out on Facebook. SoundCloud is where a lot of her music is too. SoundCloud.com/Gina-Gunz. And I got my girl Gina Gunz in the building. Can I be part of Gina Gang? Can you hashtag that too? Can I be part of it?
Of course. Thank you so much for letting me call you.
Oh, it's the pleasure. I appreciate you for giving me a little bit of your time on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening for the people out there on the East Coast to say hi. So, I'm gonna do a little bit more than just say hi. I want to say thank you for pushing the line of music and doing such a great job so far. So, my hats off to you, baby.
Wow, thank you so much for that introduction. That was awesome.
So tell me to start off, for the people out there that's just now listening, tell me a little bit about yourself and what made you start doing this thing called music.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I was born in Puerto Rico, and then my parents moved when I was really, really young to South Florida, like Miami. And then I moved when I was 18 to New York, and I really started taking music seriously. I knew from really young that I wanted to do music, but I obviously didn't know the business aspect of things. But when I was about 16 years old, I really set my heart out on New York or California, and I was like, okay, once I graduate high school, I really want to just take this music thing, full force. So when I turned 18, I moved to the city, and ever since then, I've just been making music.
So the passion that you got is there. I can listen to it in your music. And, the music business is hella crowded, right? It's so crowded where it's just like everybody want to be a musician. But some people, and I'm going to keep it solid, a lot of people don't have that passion that you got. So, with a crowded business that we are in right now, like, I don't want the world to know your game plan. So how do you have that passion still to want to maintain, do music, and, amongst the crowded room that we're all in when it comes to this art form that we got?
You know what? I think I think that you have to put everyone out. You can't really focus on what everybody else is doing. Obviously, like every kind of sound derives from something you've heard before. So my style is derived from like a lot of artists, Sade, Alicia Keys, Christina Aguilera. I grew up listening to all kinds of music, and so my passion came from very young. But, in this industry, because it's so oversaturated with so many artists that are trying to make it, sometimes I get in my head, like, I get in my feelings about it. But then I start to censor myself, and I'm like, no, the only person that's standing in my way is me if I allow myself to stand in my own way. And the passion is still there. When I'm in the studio, and I'm by myself, and I'm closed in, and I'm with my team, there's nothing that matters to me more than making music for people that I feel is gonna, be like people can relate to, and people to touch people. So for me, it's not like I sometimes get in that realm where I'm like, okay, I get bothered by the outside world, and I allow them to kind of influence my thoughts. But then I recenter myself. I'm like, no, it's not about them. It's really when you're a child, you're fearless. You're not afraid of falling. You're not afraid of embarrassing yourself. You just do it. And I think as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that I'm trying to still have that connection as when I was still a little girl. Like, I can't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? I have to keep that passion because I wanted this from when I was a little girl.
Ooh, you giving me all chills and stuff like that. I'm listening to how you talking, Gina, and this is the reason why. Like, and the people out there that's listening, you know, new fans, the people that's been a part of the Gina gang since day one. This is the kind of stuff that people need to hear every day. Like, they need to put this out there every day, and I appreciate that because this stuff's hard. I mean, it's hard trying to find a place, not just in this business, but it's hard finding somebody who really has that passion to be able to not just do for them, but like, you know what, I'm going to put this out to the people because this is what I love and this is what I want to do and this is how it's going to be done. And the creativity comes out. So you mentioned all the artists that you were inspired by, but as an artist and a radio guy and a media personality, Gina Gunz sound like Gina Gunz. You took flavors from everybody else and you made it your own style, and this is what we want the industry to pay attention to, right?
Right, absolutely. And I don't mean to cut you off, but I also want to say, to add on to what I was saying, I remember when I turned 18, even before I turned 18, I was always like, damn, you know, how am I going to afford studio time? How am I going to pay to mix a song, to master a song, to do a photo shoot? Like, everyone wants. And I was like, you know, it was hard because it's really all a learning lesson, and everything comes with time. And I just remember not knowing much, having that drive to be like, I don't know how I'm going to get the money. I don't know how I'm going to get a studio session. I don't know how I'm going to master this song, how I'm even going to do a music video, how I'm going to get a budget to put a visual out there. But if the money will come, and if your passion is there, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing that can stand in your way but you. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue. There's days where I'm just like, damn, you know, I get discouraged as an artist, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, or maybe I feel like I'm not at a place where I would ideally like to be, and then I have to also, again, regroup and be like, I have come far, and if you worry, then it takes away from your craft. It takes away from the quality of your. And I noticed that when I do start to worry about things that are eventually, when it's meant to be, are going to happen, I start getting what they call like writer's block. I get unmotivated, and I get into this really dark space. And my advice to artists out there is, don't worry about where it's going to come from. If your passion is there and you have love for your craft, and you know if you're good at it, then keep going. Don't worry about.
Gina Gunz, my guest, Nexxlegacy Radio. You can go ahead and hit her up. Hashtag Gina Gang while you're at it. Hit her up on Instagram, Instagram.com/Gina Gunz. Gunz spelled with the ending of a Z. And when it comes to like different projects and, you know, upcoming, you know, albums or singles and things like that, tell the people out there as far as any performance dates that you got going on as well.
Sure. So my EP is called Loading. It's going to be coming out soon. We're actually working on a Latin R&B type of joint. So that's all what really is missing from the EP. But every time I think the EP is done, I'm like, I go back. I'm like, no, I could do something even better than that. I have 2 upcoming performances. One is on Thursday, March 15. It's at SOB's in New York. And the second one is on Monday, March 26th at the Shrine in Harlem.
Okay. And for the people out there that would love to have you come in, not just it being on the East Coast, and I'm based in the Bay Area, there's a lot of people out there that's you know, that would love for you to open up for different artists and or acts and whatnot. How can they get in contact with you?
Well, I'm everywhere, Gina Gunz with a Z.com, Gina Gunz with a Z.com. My email is info@ginagunz.com. So I'm available if you want to reach me. I can be reached everywhere, Gina Gunz. I'm definitely going to be doing a state tour soon. I don't have any dates yet planned, but I will be announcing them soon. And I definitely want to hit up the Bay Area. It's cold out here in New York. We're looking a little pasty. It's cold. I need some sun. So, we'll definitely be going out there soon.
So you say it's cold out there on the east. So on the west, a lot of people right now, and I'm just going to give you a quick little weather update. Right now, we're suffering right now with like the low 40 degrees or whatnot. But it's still sunny, though. But, everybody got scarves on, sweaters on, like it's 2 below. So I'm just giving you a weather update right here, what's going on in the Bay Area. But we would love to have you down here, though.
You guys have 40-degree weather, but you guys have the sun. We got 40-degree weather nowhere in sight.
So, yeah, definitely that weather that you got to get out there. But I know, like, you know, once you touch down here, like, I never take Bay Area weather for granted. So, you know, getting you down here and letting the Gina Gunz experience, come across to California is definitely going to be something I want to push for the people out there. Because, you know, we played this song right now. That's a single out on YouTube. So, you know, tell folks a little bit about that. That's available right now as well.
So I have my newest single is called Scars. It's available on your favorite app, whatever app that you go to. It's probably on there. It's called Scars. Gina Gunz with a Z. And if you go on my YouTube, you just type in Gina Gunz with a Z. I'm also a YouTuber, so I do a lot of like comedy videos, and I have my music video for the Scars on that channel. So YouTube, GinaGunz.com, and iTunes, Shazam, Spotify, your favorite app, you can find that on there.
So I subscribe to your YouTube, and I think you have something like Growing Up Latino, right?
Yes.
So when it comes to that, I got to ask you, because once I was looking at it, I was like, oh, my God, I'm just dying. I'm just dying just because, I'm not Latina, obviously, but there were so many there were so many relations to that just had me cracking up, though. But tell the folks out there, what was your inspiration behind that, too?
Well, I just grew up with a really crazy-ass Puerto Rican family, and, I grew up with a lot of, not even just my Puerto Rican family, I grew up in South Florida where there's Colombian, there's Dominican, there's Ecuadorian, there's every kind of Latino is out there. And so, being a Latina and being around Latinos, it definitely has influenced my upbringing and, obviously my culture and the way I walk, the way I talk, what I eat, how I like to cook. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, you know what? We're Latina. It's a topic that has to be talked about, and we need to speak about it. So, I don't like to take life too serious. I find that, sarcasm and humor makes things easier, and so I pour that energy out into my YouTube channel and all my videos.
So I became not only a fan of your music, I became a YouTube fan of yours as well, because I love the fact that you keep it way real, and the fact that I just left it funny. I was just cracking up because it was just so honest, but it was so funny because it was just so real, and it's just like I said, you bring a well-rounded vibe to your essence as far as what you want to do for yourself, with yourself, and to yourself, and I got to commend you on that, because it's hard, right? Because, we look at reality shows and we look at certain things in the world, and we, everything is so tight and squeezed in, and people want you to do what they want you to do. But obviously it sounds like, and it seems like you're doing a lot of this stuff from your own creation with a lot of solid people behind you just encouraging you to do it, right?
Oh, of course. And I still have, like, there's times where I'll put out a video and, like, I have people who, there's people going to love you and there's people going to be like, they're not going to like you, and that's cool. Sometimes I do videos that are a little controversial, the topics, and so, sometimes my mom will call me and be like, that's not a good look for your image or whatever, and I'm just like, you know what, Mom, at the end of the day, if I'm keeping it real and I feel like I'm true to myself, then I don't really care what anyone thinks about me, because I'm just going to be me. I treat people the way that I want to be treated. I put positivity and love into the universe. And I find that keeping things funny and keeping things real is me, like I can't picture it any other way. So, I mean, it just is what it is. I definitely have a team of people who support me, and I'm so thankful for them. And I'm going to keep creating, and I'm just going to keep going with the vibe of being real and talking about, speaking about topics that need to be spoken about, that people maybe think about and don't talk about, that are a little taboo. So, that's what I'm about.
I love it. I became a fan because of that. I mean, not only are you talented, you actually got something that I want to keep checking on, and I think that's important. So, Gina Gunz, my guest, Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Brandon here in the house, celebrating this woman's music and her career path, because, I felt the vibe day one. Music, first track I heard, and I'm going to continue to stay on that path. And when it comes to you in the studio doing music, putting in your work, how much time during let's just say a day or a week do you put in? And then what has been your favorite and your most important moment so far in your early career, and what's been a struggle for you too?
Okay, so I used to do studio sessions maybe like once a month, but I have made my own like home studio. So I'm always on my computer. I'm always on my computer. I'm always creating. I'm either doing a video or I'm recording a song or I'm writing a song. So I spend like most of my time during the week, if I'm not either at rehearsal or something like that, I'm always working on my music. The hardest thing I've had to endure, I would think, is maybe just coming up with the campaign, learning the marketing behind. You know, I'm an independent artist. I don't have a major label behind me with a major label capital. I've done everything all on my own, and it's not only just about having a budget and having the income to be like, okay, I'm going to go shoot this music video. I'm going to go travel and do a tour. You know what I'm saying? It's also being able to have that marketing knowledge to know, how to market, to how to reach and engage with your current followers, how to get new people, how to get new fans, how to get views to your video. So the last time I had put out a single before Scars, it was Friday, and that was 2 years ago. 20, well, at the time it's now almost 2.5 years. But I just remember the 2.5 years, I was like, you know what, when I put out the next single, I'm going to study. And what I did was a whole bunch of webinars, a whole bunch of seminars, Socratic seminars, where I sat down with, people in the industry, or I met people that were, trying to make it. And I really came up with a very strategic campaign for Scars. And I feel like Scars has changed the game for me, in that now I'm actually I'm performing, I'm getting booked for shows, and I'm getting booked for radio shows. And it's definitely changed the game for me. And I think it took a lot of knowledge and time to get to that, instead of me just, hey, this is a great song. You might be a great artist, but you could have a great song, but if you don't have the marketing knowledge behind it and have an actual strategic campaign on how you're going to put this song out and make it do something, you're really just sitting on gold, and nobody wants to sit on gold. My hardest moment, I think would be maybe just like getting people to take me serious. I know that I'm a great artist, but I think people like to underestimate people who are not who are not signed artists. Like, okay, right. I love Cardi B. I've been following her before but like when her Instagram, she didn't have that many followers. And I always liked her. And I'm sure there was people who were like, no, you're not going to make it. And now Cardi B is who she is. And it's like, it's not that she wasn't ever talented. It's that there was people who, they underestimated her. They were like, nah, you ain't, I think it's getting people to take me serious. And once they give me that chance, they're like, oh, okay, all right. So it's, people tend to show more love to artists who are popping instead of independent artists who are actually on the grind and are up and coming until they blow up. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, we always loved you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just about getting that following and that notoriety. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's the key. And you mentioned Cardi B, and it's like you see her journey, and I knew her journey, but for her journey even blew up. So it's like the blueprint is right there, because I appreciate her work ethic as well. And turning it over to you, same thing. I appreciate the fact that you are doing this, and not only that, I mean, you got something special. When you said sit on gold, that's something special. And for the opportunity in this marketing campaign that you're pushing, and you got, the Gina gang behind you as well, I think, the sky's the limit as far as what you can potentially do. And that's why having, these little moments, not just radio moments, having, a down-to-earth radio conversation. I don't really call it an interview. Radio conversation with somebody, just kind of going over it, because you're inspiring so many people, not just the host that you're interviewing with, but the listeners out there is just really just caught on to it, and they could hear magic. They like how it sounds, and not just the music, but also your voice as well. And you mentioned something for all the people out there earlier, for that's trying to be able to get into a position where you're at, where they know they got something going on, and and it's hard for a woman as it is to win. So what else can you say for the younger women out there who, who's getting blackballed because, the manager wants to sleep with them, or, you know, they want to do certain things. What do you say to the people out there that's really trying hard, that's trying to make these moves, you know, to continue to push the line regardless?
It's really annoying, actually, that there's so many men that, unfortunately, as a woman, you're either, if you're a boss, you're a bitch, you're hard to work with, and if you're friendly, or you're either over sexualized, you're looked at as an item, you're looked at as an object. And for me, it's always been like, I've encountered slimes, I've encountered a lot of jerks, but for me, I guess it's how I behave, or the way that I handle myself, and I don't allow like outside energies to like, I don't really care if he's a jerk. For me, it's like I can see through people, and if I see they don't have good intentions for me, like, you're just not part of the team, and I just will never work with you again. And I think it's a matter of just being like, whether it's a man that's, being pushy or making you feel like if you don't give something up, they're not going to give something up. It's about knowing that you are the boss. You are the boss. There's going to be people who are going to help you, and they're not going to want anything in return. They just want to be part of your journey. And there's going to be people who have ulterior motives. And I think it's up to you to really have that understanding and see through that, whether that person has the good intentions or not. I have always been blessed. I had a really strong, Latin mom where she didn't put up with that, and she instilled that in me. So for me, it's like, I might see it, I might feel it, but I always get myself out of the situation if I don't feel comfortable, and I just keep doing what I have to do. It doesn't really affect me. It's all a matter about, like I said before, you either stand in your own way or you don't, you keep it moving, and that's what I do. I just keep it moving and moving and moving, and I don't care whether somebody has bad intentions or not. I'm going to still do me, and that's it.
Damn, she's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's a YouTuber, she's an inspirational speaker. That is Gina Gunz right here on Nexxlegacy Radio. Hit her up, anybody that want to book her as well. Info at Gina Gunz, that's guns.com. Make sure you go check out her Instagram, which is Gina Gunz. Just Google her. You'll be able to find her easy. SoundCloud, do the same thing. Check out her music, check out her movement, and make sure that you stay logged into what she's doing, because I'm telling you, y'all, people out there that know this know that when you're doing something special, it's going to come out on top with a lot of new supporters and a lot of new people. And, Gina, I got to tell you before I let you go, you are amazing. You are an amazing artist. You got an amazing vibe about yourself. And I'm expecting you. I'm not hoping. I'm expecting you to rise to that top. And what that top means is, getting more people that's going to feel the same way I feel. Because music is an emotion, right? And I completely agree 100%. By the opportunities that you're going to be able to get. And over here on this station, we're going to continue to log in and support you and do everything possible to be able to get your brand out there, because, I'm part of the Gina gang now. I'm just saying, with pride. I say that stuff with pride, girls. You know how it is. I love good music, and I love people that got passion to do it. So give some shout-outs before I let you go, honey.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Jess, first of all, for putting us onto each other, for linking us up. And you are part of the Gina gang, and I want to send you a T-shirt. So make sure you send me your address, or you hit up Jess and let me know so I can send you a T-shirt out to the Bay. And I just want to thank you for having me on your show. I really do appreciate it. And have a great Sunday evening.
This is the first of many, and we're going to continue to promote on our website, on Instagram, on everything else, as far as, we're going to promote Scars. We're going to do what we need to do to grow and grow and grow. Press releases, everything that we can do to be able to help support. But stay on that blessed path. I'm telling you, Gina, I'm proud of you. I am very proud of you, and I just want to see you win. So everybody out there that's listening to Gina for the first time, make sure you go ahead, hit her up on Instagram at Gina Gunz. On that Instagram page, you can be able to click on YouTube so you can subscribe to our YouTube page. Hit up GinaGunz.com as well for all details. And, hey, Gina Gang right here on Nexxlegacy Radio. I love it. I love it. Gina, I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right. That is the beautiful, the talented, the funny, the compassionate, the passionate Gina Gunz right here, Nexxlegacy Radio.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.